Hello, welcome along to the official Aston Villa podcast. My name is Kate Tracy. Alongside me, as always, is Alan McAnally. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm absolutely brilliant, no problem. And looking forward to our continuation of our Villa podcast.
Yeah, Darius Vassell that we've got today. So really looking forward to that.
Somebody who grew up literally on the doorsteps of Aston Villa. A dream to play for this football club, and I'm looking forward to what he's got to say, because he was pretty far travelled as well. Probably left the club when he didn't want to. England international as well. I mean, who cares about that? But nevertheless, yeah, I think it'll be a good listen to. I really do.
We are going to take it right back to the start then, in terms of you and in terms of your start into football and just in life in general, really. So tell us about where you grew up, your childhood. What was it all like?
Yeah, so single mom, we grew up, me and my sister grew up in Erdington.
Yenton Primary.
That's the one, yeah. Yenton school we went to. Our house was right next to the Spaghetti Junction, the Aston Expressway. So to those that know, that's walking distance to Villa Park. So as soon as I got into football and understood that I loved Villa to death, I used to walk to the games. Even if I couldn't get in, I'd walk to the game just to be around it also.
So that was it. So you chose Villa because of the locality then? From Villa Park to
that was half the reason. The other reason was my best mate at school was a Villa fan, and he wasn't going to have it any other way. I actually enjoyed playing football more than anything, but to have that affiliation with Villa and start to build that connection with the club, that was something that I shared with my friend at the time.
See, you've already spoken about the wiser, more experienced Vassell working with the young kids. You must have been so proud to get the opportunity, to be at a club like Aston Villa, but to actually play at Villa as well, considering, you're growing up and literally in a stone's throw from the ground.
The ultimate dream for me as a youngster. When I say dream, it was beyond anything that I thought that could come real.
Who was the manager?
When I came through, or when I was...
when you signed at Aston Villa?
When I signed at Villa, Brian Little.
Oh, Brian, was he?
Yeah. When I signed as a youngster at 9, I think it was Ron Atkinson.
Was it?
I'm sure it was, yeah. And but when I signed professional contracts, it was John Gregory stroke Brian Little. I think there was just a changeover going on.
So how did you get with Aston Villa in the first place? How did they sign you? Did they just see you? I'm always fascinated.
You might not want to know this, but I was having a little training session over at Birmingham City on their AstroTurf. And the plan was, I was playing Sunday League football at the time, was for me to sign for Birmingham at some point. That was the plan. But we had a game over here at Bodymore Heath. I actually just drove past the pitch, which is no longer there. I remember playing on that pitch, a little game that we had, a friendly game. I can't even remember who it was for, but they had scouts there. And the minute that the scouts saw me and we got that connection and he knew I supported Villa, I didn't end up signing for Birmingham City at the time, so I knew...
Oh, you must have been like me, because we used to come in that front entrance, didn't we?
That's the one, yeah.
And when I'm coming to Bodymore now, I always...
Brings back memories.
Oh, it used to be... I mean, the place is phenomenal now. It's so good, but like you and I trained in the same place, in the same bit, and the same thing. And there was always... I mean, even I remember when I came down, they were always heavy into the 15, 16. There was always loads of kids' games.
Always activity going on.
Yeah, always. That was under Graham Taylor. And I can remember... Always activity here at Bodymore Heath. The amount of play, I mean, has there been another professional football player come out of Yenton Primary School in Erdington?
No, I don't think so. But the funny thing about that is I do remember some of the youngsters, Andrew Morrison. These are players that you won't remember, but they were really good, really talented. And as a kid, you never forget, do you, playing with those players?
What about your best friend who supported Villa, who made you support Villa? Did he play at all?
Oh, yeah, he was left back. He played for the school with me. He had a Sunday League team as well, Colron. They weren't in our league. He was a good player. He was obviously better than me when we first started out. And then I managed to catch him up, and he was feeding me information. His favourite player was David Platt. My favourite player was Tony Daly at the time. And, of course, Anna McAnally.
I was going to say.
And, of course, Do you get the confidence then, just from getting that initial debut out the way? And do you just feel fully ensconced in it? Like, okay, this is me?
It becomes what's the next debut? And then the next thing was, when's my first goal? When's that going to happen?
Can you remember that?
Yes.
Go on then.
I bet you've got it written down somewhere.
You know what? This is actually the one thing I don't think I've got written down.
I've only got one of the downsides here of your career.
Go on.
That you made the England team, the World Cup.
Downside?
He's getting there. That's definitely the positive.
Sorry, right, so what was the goal then?
Debut goal, Strom's Godset. I'm sure it was. Strom's Godset, European competition, came on for 10 minutes. We was losing 2-1 and I scored 2 goals.
See, that's something else that when you look back, Darius, and you think, playing in Europe as well for Aston Villa. Playing in Europe, you're like, it's apart from the learning curve, it's just brilliant, and it's bonkers, just magic.
Looking back, bonkers. I look on the My daughter gets a YouTube up now, and she's telling me what I've been doing. But there's just the size of my shirt, how it doesn't, like they're all cool now with a fitted shirt.
Yes,
and I was just running with this just black beam liner on.
So when you were first in the first team then for Villa, who were your kind of close friends at that point? Who really made you feel welcome and a part of everything?
Getting into the first team, it's Lee Hendry and Dan Barfield. They were already in there, and they were the life of it, of the reserves, and on the brink of the first team themselves. Got all the jokes, got all the banter. You've got to be careful though, or I had to be careful being around them, that I was on the right side of the banter, because once they got going, wow. So those were the people that made it feel welcome, and then everything sort of stemmed from that. Obviously, Villa started to sign other youngsters as well, and you make new friends and things like that. So
if you had to point out your ultimate highlight of your time at Villa, could you do that? What was a point that really sticks out in your brain as this was the ultimate high here?
Oh, wow. The first thing that comes to my head is scoring my first goals.
Yeah.
In the manner that I did. It was in such a short space of time. I was on the brink of... It was 2-legged competition, so I didn't know that. I was just on the bench thinking it's a game of football. So I was thinking we were about to go out, but we still had the other leg to go. But we're losing 2-1 at home. It was almost embarrassing. The crowd were getting on us a bit. To be able to come on in that environment and make a difference, that's probably... that's what springs to mind. There will be many more, but that's the main one.
Okay, there's something we have been asked to ask, which I don't know. Alan doesn't know this either, but something involving a drill and an injury and you doing it to yourself.
Yes, it's actually popped up on TV. It's been a question on Question of Sport as well. So this got really famous, this did. This did, or I did. Anyway, the story is that I drilled my own toe, which is...
What?
With a Black & Decker drill.
I love that you genuinely didn't know.
Part of it, it's true. The drill wasn't Black & Decker. No.
There are other drills. There are other drills available.
To drill your own toe, there are available.
Seriously, so whereabouts are we?
Okay, so we're at Aston Villa.
Here?
Yes. Graham Taylor's the manager, and I've got a sore toe. I always used to get sore toe because I was trying to squeeze my feet into... They were taking the mick out my feet being big. So I was trying to squeeze my feet into small boots. That used to be the issue with my toes. Well, anyway, my toe was really sore, and spoke to the physio about it, and he's had a go at dealing with it, and it's too sore. And the idea is he's going to put a hole through the surface and let the blood... what we thought was
I've had that done, though.
We've had that done.
Jim Walker did it to me.
Yeah, Jim Walker. Yeah, I know exactly what it is. My problem was as soon as the drill touched the nail, I promise you, I wasn't just faking it. It was killing, absolutely killing. So everybody around me thought I was being overboard and all that sort of stuff. Come on, everyone gets this done. It looks worse than what it is. And so listen, this hemodrill that you use, it's called a hemodrill, and I have to say the words, I don't know how to spell it, but it's specifically for drilling toenails. I've says, where do you get these? Because if anyone's drilling this toe, I'm going to have to do it. I can't cope. So I've got hold of the hemodrill, gone home, had a go again. Just listen, this is the part which people don't get because you're already doing the other bit. Listen.
I ain't drilling myself anyway.
Touched the nail, and again, it was like, can't do it, cannot do it, I can't do it. Went back in the next day, it says, gave the drill back. I can't do it. There's something wrong with this toe. And he's gone, we have to, do some further examination. Turns out there's an infection in the toe, and that's why there was so much pain. Have you ever had an infection in your nail and all that? That's why as soon as the drill was touching, we couldn't be done. So I've got to tell, this was on a Friday, the day before a game. I've got to tell the manager now, I said, listen, Gaffer, I'm sorry, man. I did try and drill it, but I just couldn't do it. That's all he heard was drill and toe, and that was it. Next thing you know, he's getting asked about it with the press, and he said, you know what he's gone and done, innit? He's gone and drilled his own toe. And then it got built from that. Now, it's a hilarious story, but what's even more hilarious is my daughter is asking me about it. And there's something on YouTube. There's a cartoon that they've made about it. My daughter finds it absolutely hilarious of me drilling my own toe and all this blood gushing out, making an exaggeration of it. But unfortunately, the truth is I didn't actually get to drill my own toe because it was toe.
How was the toe?
I wear the proper size shoes now, so
good.
My feet are lovely. Yeah, my feet are lovely.
Just to be a fly on the wall to hear you going out to the gaffer to saying I couldn't quite drill my toe.
Yeah.
In what world does that sentence come out of someone's mouth? But in your world, it does.
Yeah, that's what he heard. He just visualised Black & Decker drill. What the hell is he doing?
Well, thank you so much for clearing that up for us. I'm so pleased we got to ask you that question. Now, remember to follow all of the official Aston Villa social media channels for video clips of today. Subscribe to VillaTV. So again, you can watch this podcast in full. Also then for audio listeners, do remember to subscribe. You'll get notifications about all of the episodes that we have to bring you as well. Also, if you could leave us a review, that would be really nice. Alan and I, we do like to hear from you and for you to get involved. So please do leave us a review.
Good ones only, good ones only.
Only 5 stars allowed, please. But Alan and I will be back with you again very soon.